But anyway, is it visible to everybody? Visible naman sa lahat? Hello?
Yeah, visible, ma'am.
Alright, sige. Mag-try na ako mag-join sa cellphone. Nakita ko kayo. No? Okay, sige. Alright. How do I off ba the speaker? Hello? Hello? Ayan. Ano na siguro. Okay. So we have here copy reading and headline writing, if you have questions or if you have some reactions or meron you want to raise something, I'll just be viewing you on another phone. Okay? On a phone. Medyo unreliable yung laptop ko kaya nasa desktop ako. But anyway, we can start recording now. So this will be our discussion on copy reading and headline writing. Like what I told you, these are two different principles. But in competition sa DSPC, meron tayong isang competition lang for this. Meaning to say, if you're a copy reader, you're also assigned or you're also tasked to do the headline writing. And that accounts also for the competition you're joining in. Okay, hindi lang kung paano ka mag-edit, magka-copy read ng news article, pero pati na rin yung pagsusulat ng headline ay kasama sa kinatest sa'yo or gina-judge when you join the competition. Okay, so meron tayong dalawang types ng editing. Hindi natin ito pahahabain kasi there are so much more information that we need to relay for this lesson. So again, just copy reading and proofreading. Ano ba pagkakaiba nila? Because actually both are types of editing. But for copy reading, it is editing that is done on the draft manuscript, the copy itself. Ibig sabihin, doon ka mismo nagsusulat. Alright? Bago ito i-finalize or i-submit for printing. While proofreading, ito ay ginagawa kapag meron ka ng printout or meron ka ng blueprint na sa printing press, okay? Bago yung final print or bago mag-distribute and so on. Ibig sabihin, copy reading ang mas nauuna sa proofreading. Alright? And the competitions we're joining in ay yung kapag nasa manuscript pa lang siya. Yung kopya pa lang ng balita. Okay? Hindi pa siya naiimprenta. Sabihin, pwede mo pa siyang sulatan. Well, when you're doing proofreading, hindi ka na magsusulat pa or hindi ka na wala na sa'yo yung papel kasi it's the actual print na. So, pag nasa proofreading ka na, it's just that magre-reprint ka ba ulit or i-edit mo ba ulit using your editing tool. Okay? Pero yung balita, iyon na yun. Alright? So, which comes first? Copy reading first. Proofreading is when you already have the print copy. Okay, understood? Now, if you're a copy reader, here are the things that you should do. You have to check facts, correct errors in grammar, spelling, punctuation, usage, organization, and the rest. You also have to improve the news value. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang errors ang hinahanap mo. Pati yung kung may maganda ba o pangit ba sa parte ng balita na to, meron bang parte ng balita na kailangan mawala or hindi or let's say for example, nagpapakita ng bias or hindi masyadong nagre-relay ng objectivity, it's also your task as a copy reader. You also write an effective lead, okay? Since you're the copy reader and since the lead is the most important part of the news, mahalaga na as a copy reader, marunong ka rin magsulat ng tamang lead because you have to decide whether to accept the lead na ginamit ng news writer mo or you want to enhance it and edit it yourself, okay, to make it better and to make it more effective. You also need to cut or delete irrelevant materials, nabanggitan natin yan, and also delete editorializing materials in the news. You guard against libelous statements and you write headlines and decide its typography. Even the typography of the headlines, like let's say for example, anong font style, ang gaano kalaki, ilang deck ang gagamitin mo, ilang column masasakop ng headline na to para malaman nung gagawa ng layout, okay? Yung magiging ayos ng ginawa mong headline for this particular news. So those things are even included in the functions and tasks of a copy reader. All right. Okay, moving on. Okay, when we're editing, this is the process that we do. We read the copy completely before doing any editing. The wrong practice of most copy readers, okay, ang ginagawa nila ay, pag may nakita silang mali or meron silang nakita somehow off, edit ka agad, parang nagmamadali. Well, I don't want you to be relying on that practice. Yes, what is it?
Sorry to interrupt po, ma'am. Sa amin lang po ba or hindi po nalilipat yung slide?
Talaga? I don't know.
Cover page pa rin po tayo.
Talaga ba? Sa inyo? Sa iba?
Ganoon din po.
Oh, pero nakalagay naman ako sa kaya nga nababasa ko siya. At kaya? Naka-full screen naman ako. How do we do this then? Okay, wait lang. Can I do entire screen na lang kaya? Sige, ulit tayo. Nakikita niyo na itong part na to? Nag-change na ba siya?
Yes po.
Ayan. O sige. And so, entire screen tayo. Yung nabanggit ko kanina na types of editing, yung copy reading and proofreading. Was it already captured during the video kanina? The recording? Alright. So, hindi ko nababalikan yung explanation na yun. But, just then and again, we copy read first before we proofread. Kasi what we're proofreading ay yung print-out copy na. But when we're copy reading, yung atin palang kopya, yung atin palang manuscript, yung papel pa lang, wala pang dyaryo, wala pang print-out, okay, yun pa lang ang ika-copy read natin. So whichever comes first, ay copy reading muna before we do proofreading. And here are the functions of the copy reader. So all in all, nabanggit na natin kanina yung explanations na to. In short, you have a lot of things to do. You have a lot of functions to do as a copy reader. You don't just check facts and correct grammar. You improve the news itself, okay? By writing the lead, erasing irrelevant materials, pagbubura lahat ng mga opinions, to make sure that it's not libelous, okay? Na wala ka pa na pinaparatangan and so on, walang paninira. And even the typography of your headlines, kung paano ito isusulat, kung paano ito mag-a-appear sa dyaryo, even the number of columns that it will consume, number of deaths, the font style, and the font size, the copy reader is the copy reader that decides, okay? Also, other functions ay meron tayong tinatawag na task to make everything simple and clear, no? The thing is with news writers, they have the tendency to add so much information. Well, the copy reader says he's the last one to have the copy of the news written by the news writer. Meron siyang function or meron siyang kapangyarihan to even make the copy or to even make the news much simpler and much clearer. Okay? Since siya yung huling mag-e-edit nito as the copy reader. Okay? Of course, with the approval naman ng editor-in-chief na nagtalaga naman sa iyo for that job. Okay? Also, you make the copy conform with the newspaper style sheets. Okay? Meron tayo mga styles in publishing your paper. So, yung copy itself, since the copy reader also decides ilang column, yung magiging balita, anong font style na magiging head, and ganyan, you're making sure na lahat ng dumaan sa yung articles ay magiging pare-pareho ng style sheet for the entire paper. Kasi baka mamaya iba-iba yung maging layout or iba-iba yung maging font style ng balita. Okay? Pero if that's the style of the newspaper, then be it, no? Pero as the copy reader, ikaw yung merong control din dyan. Okay? You have the first controls kung ano ang magiging style, okay, of the articles, okay, and the news ng dyaryo nyo. But of course, syempre, mag-uusap pa rin kayo ng inyong layout artist, ng inyong editor-in-chief kung nagkakaintindihan kayo. Hindi naman yan pag sinabi ni copy reader na, okay, ganito ang magiging style sheet natin sa sheets, sa newspaper natin, ganito ang mga magiging style kasi ganito yung mga print instructions na ibinigay ko. Pero sabi ni layout artist, kasi medyo kakalangin tayo ng space na ganito. Pero nasa pag-uusap naman yan. But what I'm saying is, bago makarating yan kay layout artist, okay, bago niya ilagay yan dun sa editing tool niya, before printing, si copy reader muna kasi ang may hawak ng mga dyaryo eh. So, si copy reader ang unang may control kung ano magiging style ng mga balita. Okay? When it comes to page design and when it comes to how it will be laid out on the actual paper. So aside from that, you also give instruction to be typesetter, okay, regarding the font type, font size to be used, and the number of columns and M's. Yan yung nabanggit natin kanina. So you also indicate corrections by using copy reading marks. So for our discussions, it will be more on the copy reading marks since iyon naman talaga yung magiging focus ng ating competition at more not really on the task ng copy reader to provide the style or to make the news conform with the style sheet, no? Hindi na natin magagawa yun sa competition kasi hindi naman siya part ng competition. So the rest of this discussion will be focusing more on the copy reading marks and how to use them properly, how to edit, how to find errors, and at the same time, sa dulong part, yung pagsusulat ng headline since it's copy reading and headline writing competition. Okay? Yan, na-skip pala kanina yun. Yan. Sa recess method natin, nabanggit na natin kanina, we read the copy completely. So bago ka mag-edit ng kahit ano, basahin muna lahat. Ano bang purpose nito? Ano bang audience ito? Sino ang babasa? Okay? You read the copy 3 times para ma-familiarize ka dun sa balita. Okay? Yung para makita mo yung content, malaman mo yung laman, and then yung pangatlo, sa structure. So, first time mong basahin, parang malaman mo yung kabuuan ng balita. Tapos, pangalawang basa mo para makita mo yung mga laman. Kung tama ba yung mga content, okay? Like yung pangalan, yung information, yung data, figures, kung tama ba. That's for your second reading. And then, last mong pagbasa, doon mo palang titingnan yung structure. Hindi mahahaba ang news, okay? Yung mga manuscript, hindi siya mahahaba para basahin mo 3 times. Pero ano ang mahalaga dito sa pagbabasa ng 3 beses na to, I also recommend this pagsabihin niyo sa competition, kasi hindi naman siya talaga mahahaba. Para hindi kayo maguluhan sa pag-e-edit. Alright? Kasi first reading niyo pa lang para lang ma-familiarize kayo. At para pag nag-e-edit kayo, ang ine-edit niyo muna ay puro content lang muna. So kung may makita kang mali sa structure or mali sa pagpaparagraph or mali sa pagkakahati-hati or sa grammar and so on, wag mo munang tingnan yun. Lagpasan mo muna. Mag-concentrate ka muna sa content because you are still in the second reading. And kapag tapos ka na sa mga information, malinaw na lahat, tama naman lahat, wala kailangan baguhin, then you go for the structure. That includes paragraphs, sentences, grammar, and all that. Okay? So, ganun kayo magbabasa when you are doing or when you are in a copy reading task or kung nasa competition kayo for copy reading and headline writing. Okay, so you edit for content. How do you edit? Is the lead compelling and focus on the key point? Tingnan mo muna yung lead, no? Baka mamaya, tama naman lahat ng information. Bawa ganito, no, natapos ka mag-edit, nakita mo, tama na lahat ng information, wala nang maling grammar, walang maling punctuation, pero dun ka pala nagkamali sa lead, hindi pala siya ganun ka-compelling, hindi pala siya ganun ka-focus. Kailangan pala niyang i-edit. Okay? So, when you edit for content, ito yung titignan mong mga bagay. No? Tingnan mo muna yung lead. And also, is the material accurate, clear, fair, consistent, logical, tasteful, thorough? Are your sources named? Napangalanan ba? Is information well documented? Do any legal case or ethical problems arise? Is something important omitted? Baka may nawawala, okay? Baka may hindi malinaw, baka merong mga mali, merong hindi accurate. So this is how you edit for content. And if you find content problems, rank them in order and consider the most important ones first. And then you edit for them. Nakita niyo, wala ka munang minamaling grammar, wala ka munang pinapansin na uh, structural errors, wala mo ng mga paragraph errors or sentence errors. It's more on the content, more on the information. And of course, you start with the lead kasi napaka-importante. Minsan yun pa yung naiiwan kasi hindi na nila pinapansin yung lead, no? Yung lead pala ay tama naman ang information pero hindi pala siya compelling, hindi pala siya maganda. No? So it's also your task as a copy reader to improve that. As a copy reader, you're also a news writer. Masasabi natin, no? Actually, you're even ahead dun sa mga news writer because nakasalalay sa kamay mo para itama yung mga pagkakasulat ng mga news writers mo. So, if you're a copy reader, hindi ka lang dapat may mata sa mali. Kung hindi, may mata ka rin sa balita. Kasi yung balita mismo, yung i-enhance mo at i-modify mo for improvement. Okay? So, you familiarize yourself, you read it, and then you edit for content, and then you edit for structure. Dito na, mag-i-inspect ka ng grammar, ng punctuation, spelling, style, usage. Look at every word critically. Tingnan mo bawat salita. Say each word and sentence aloud. Sabihin, pwede mo siyang basahin ng malakas para lang tumatak sa isip mo, parang may mali. Kasi minsan, the moment you hear something, doon mo palang marirecognize na, ay, oops, parang may mali kasi parang hindi siya magandang pakinggan. And that's how we realize na, okay, meron palang tayo dapat itama. And guard against wordiness. Merong mga times na tama naman ang structure, tama ang spelling, tama ang grammar, but nagiging wordy na pala siya. So, mahaba na yung mga words or humahaba na yung mga sentences. So, it's also your task as a copy reader that if there is a tendency for wordiness, ay pwede mo tong itama at paisi and pa-simplify, okay? But of course, kung not to compensate for the information, no? Hindi naman para ma-compromise yung information na nabura na ilang information na mahalaga dahil lang we just wanted to be less worthy or umigsi yung balita. Hindi tayo doon. Okay? Siyempre, as a news writer naman yung nagsulat niyan, in-arrange na niya na sa pinaka-importanteng mga information. So, make sure that when you're guarding against wordiness, hindi na o-omit yung mga important information, especially in the beginning of the news. Okay, then you sign off. Paano ka magsa-sign off? Babasahin mo ulit yung ginawa mong pag-edit. You reread the story for final effect to make certain that you haven't added any errors. Baka mamaya nagkaroon ka pa or ikaw pa nagdagdag ng error sa kakabura mo, kakamali mo, kaka-edit mo. So if the accuracy of anything is in question, consult with the writer. So after mo makita magawa mo itong copy reading ng news story, the best way really is lumapit ka sa writer nito at pakita mo, baka meron kang nabago. Baka meron kang iniisip mo mali, pero sa writer pala may point siya na tama pala iyon, hindi kayo nagkaintindihan. You have to make sure na you agree with the editing para you can do appropriate action kung meron mang na mali ka ng pag-copy read or pag-edit. Okay, so that's how you sign off. And that's the process of recess. Pero basically sa competition, ang mapapractice nyo lang dyan is to read and to familiarize yourself, edit for content and edit for structure. And then you will read it again. But confirming with the writer, hindi nyo ito magagawa sa competition. But in practice, pag meron na kayo mga dyaryo, that's how you do it. And that's how you instruct your copy reader kapag kayo ay coaches na or advisors na ugaliin nila, okay, na copy reader sila ay nakipagkasundo sa writer ng news story para walang problema, no? At hindi nasa-sacrifice yung sinulat, o hindi nasasayang yung nasulat ng news writer. Okay. So, move na tayo dito sa tinatawag natin deletion marks. Nandito na tayo sa mga symbols na gagamitin natin. So, kinategorize na natin ito into different types para hindi labo-labo or hindi magkakahalo-halo. So, ang una muna natin pag-uusapan, how do we delete things? Mag-delete ka ng word, mag-delete ka ng letters, or mag-delete ka ng buong paragraphs. Let's see how they're done in copy reading. Okay? To delete letters, yan, namit nga tayo ng ganito. Ay, ibang kulay. Yan. To delete letters or punctuation at the beginning or end of the word, kung beginning or end of the word nang gagamitin natin, we can use this sign. Ayan, yung ganyan. Right? That's how you delete things. Let's say, for example, immediately, nadoble yung I, pagkakatype, dumulas ang daliri, nadoble yung Y. Kung nasa dulo-dulo naman sila, that's how you delete things. Okay? Make sure na hindi lang kayo nagsa-slash. Iba kasi nagsa-slash lang, pero iba kasi ang ino-order kapag slashes lang ang ginagamit natin. At para hindi siya kamukha ng ibang letters, yeah, we really do this symbol, okay, or this cursive way of deleting para mas kita siya na it's a deleting symbol na ginagamit mo. Okay. Now, kapag naman halimbawa, nag-delete ka, halimbawa double P pala to, tapos nag-delete ka, magkakaroon ng space yan, di ba? Or kung meron naman talagang space talaga, for example, naputol, literal na naputol, alright? Natindot yung space. How do you close up the space para masabi natin na ito ay pagdudugtungin natin. So, we use this symbol, ayan, okay, para to enclose the space, ibig sabihin, pagdudugtungin yung P at U so that we can have the entire word uncut or closed up. All right. So this is an example. Okay. Other examples. Oh, so where's my cursor? Ayan. So double E tayo. We delete E. Ayan. Kung ganito naman ang nangyari, in term idiot, nagkaroon ng close up, nagkaroon ng space or gap, we close it up, and so on. Okay. Minsan naman, pwedeng ganito lang, understood na yan, no? Na-delete mo, syempre yung magta-type niyan, ang iintindihin na niya ay pagdudugtungin na niya kasi nag-delete ka ng double letters. Pero meron kasi mga ilang words na nag-delete ng letter pero halimbawa, word na hindi familiar doon yung editor or word na medyo mahirap yung salita niya na alam mo na pwedeng magkamali. Okay? Ito kasi alam mo intermediate yung word, so alam mo na one word lang siya. So, pag binura mo yung letter E, ang tendency, kung ikaw yung layout editor, pagdudugtungin mo na yung intermediate, tama ba? Buburahin mo na yung space. Pero meron kasing mga word na unfamiliar or mga foreign words, let's say for example, tapos nagbura ka ng single, nagbura ka ng letter, minsan, kailangan mo pang i-double command, parang ganun, dalawa ang command mo sa kanya. So you slash it out, and then you close it up. Parang dalawa yung instruction mo. Para sa mga words na baka isipin nila, i-delete lang, tapos may retain pa rin yung space kasi hindi sila familiar sa word na yon. Two words pala siya ang intindi ng layout editor. So to avoid that, instead of using the common na ganyan, alright, you can do a double command na you delete a letter and at the same time, you close what gap will be there. Nagkakaintindihan tayo? Malinaw sa atin to? Alright. So, pareho naman tama. Parehong commands or parehong instruction ay tama. It's just that, ginagamit natin tong isa na to. Nasaan naman ang cursor ko? Ginagamit natin tong isa na to kapag medyo familiar na tayo sa word na alam naman natin na understood intermediate yon. Pero kung baka mamaya hindi magkaintindihan, this is safer kasi at least alam mo na magde-delete ka at the same time, i-close mo yung mapoproduce na space or gap. Okay? To delete letters or punctuations within a word, ayan, kapag nasa gitna siya, ayan, ganyan tayo mag-delete. Normally, ganito tayo magde-delete, alright? Kapag nasa simula yung i-delete natin, ganyan ang ginagamit natin. Pero kung nasa gitna, yung sinabi ko kanina, the reason for using this symbol, okay, the reason for using this symbol is para malaman na i-close mo din. Kasi nasa gitna siya Remember, kung pag dinilit ko to, magkakaroon ng space dito. Pag dinilit ko tong dash, magkakaroon ng space dito. So, syempre, para hindi mangyari yun, hindi magkaroon ng space, itong symbol na to yung ginagamit natin, especially kung nasa gitna siya. Alright? Pwede rin naman itong gamitin, pero sabi ko nga sa inyo, there's a danger na baka ang maging interpretation ay magkaroon ng space. So, to be safe, kapag nasa dulo lang, like first letter or last letter, we use this symbol. Pero kung nasa gitna, to avoid commanding na magkaroon ng gap, gamitin natin tong symbol na to. Malinaw? Malinaw po. Alright. Sige. Salamat. Alright. Now, we bridge over symbol to delete spaces between words but leaving one space. Ibig sabihin, kanina ito, close the gap to, di ba? Ayan, close the gap. Walang space. Pero paano naman kung sobrang layo? Like this. For example, may 3 spaces dyan. Okay? Sa pagitan na doble-doble yung spaces. We want to close it up. Okay? We want to bridge. Ilapit pa yung letter O. Pero ayaw natin siyang maging o lumapit ka na isang word lang siya. You bridge it na mag-iiwan ka pa rin ng isang space like this. O, space, lumapit, space ka. So how you do it is single arch lang ang gagamitin natin like this. Okay? Kasi pag gumamit ka ng double arch, meron isa sa taas, meron isa sa baba, ibig sabihin, i-close mo talaga, wala talagang space. Kapag single arch lang ang ginamit mo sa taas lang, it means that magkakaroon pa rin ng isang space between the words that you are bridging over. Understood? Alright, sige, salamat. Next, when we want to delete words or sentences, okay, we use this, okay? Ang duling ba, doble-doble rin ang sinusulat. And, ang gusto nating sabihin ay doble rin ang sinusulat. Ang duling ba ay doble rin ang sinusulat. So, doble-doble tintong doble na to. So, how we do it is, where's my cursor? Ayan. We slash it through, okay? And then, since magkakaroon ng space, we want that arch so that magdudugtong yung doble at rin while leaving one space in between. Understood? Okay. So, ito, I am Pepe, she is a girl, I am a boy. Or, I am Pepe, I am a boy lang dapat. So, this is an entire sentence na buburahin natin. So, we slash it through, she is a girl, and then, bridge through yung Pepe and I. Medyo lumagpas lang yung lines dito ha. These are actually materials given to us during national trainings. Pinaprovide to may training ng regionals saka ng nationals eh. Marami nang may kopya nito. Pero kaya siguro, I don't know, nung pinigay sa amin to, nung sinend ito, ay may mga errors na tong mga sulat, parang nahihiwalay na siya siguro sa pagkaka-convert into PDF, tapos kung may i-edit, nawawala na yung placement nila. So, kaya gumamit ako ng ng markers, ng ganito, ng annotation, kasi mamaya merong mga nahihiwalay na mga markings, makamalito kayo. Okay? So, there you go. Yan. When we want to delete several sentences, kasi marami ng sentences yung i-delete or buong paragraph na yung i-delete, this is how you do it. So, you cross it out and you box it out as well. Since it's the entire paragraph. Kaya, kailangan pa rin po ba ito gawin ng copy reader? Yes, kung sa tingin mo, hindi na kailangan tong paragraph na to, makulit si news writer, dapat hindi na sinasama to. Or mapapahamak tayo sa paragraph na to, kailangan i-delete. So that's how you delete an entire paragraph. Hindi mo na ilaline lahat isa-isang word or isa-isang sentences. You cross it out and you box it out the entire paragraph you wish to delete or several sentences that you wish to delete. Alright. Yun ang ating deletion marks. Kung nag-delete tayo, meron din tayong times na tayo ay mag-i-insert. So, meron tayong insertion marks. How do we insert or put in something that is missing? Alright, so let's see. Carry it up or down to insert letters, words, sentences, or punctuation. So, kung saan merong space, either you carry it up ang carry it down like this, okay? Or carry it up, okay? Pwede mong gamitin para mag-insert. I know, familiar naman kayo sa mga ito. Right? So, yan. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, medyo hindi lang tumatama yung mga markings. Pero ito ay sa pagitan ng G at A. Yan. I-insert mo yung letter N. Parang may kulang dito. She is one of my friends who. Yung caret natin dapat dito siya, di ba? Yan. She is one of my friends who forgot my birthday. Medyo nawala lang sa pwesto itong caret up natin, right? So whether you are inserting a single letter, a single word, okay, or punctuation, or even an entire sentence, or a sentence, okay, you can use caret, either up or down. Okay, so dito, ayan, syempre dahil nasa taas ang punctuation, gagamit tayo ng caret down, ganyan. Kasi mahirap naman dito mo i-insert, baka akala ko ang i-insert mo. Right? So, since it is apostrophe na punctuation na hinahanap natin, itong caret na ganito ang gagamitin natin. So, I guess that's basically yan sa pag meron tayong missing letters, words, or sentence. Ginagamit naman natin yan kahit di tayo nag-aral ng copy reading. So, I hope that's familiar with everybody. Okay? Now, to insert a space naman, how do you insert a space? Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, nawawala sa hulog yung slashes. Napakasikip naman dito. Saan dapat may space? After napakasikip at naman. So, your slash should be here. Ayan. So, napakasikip, slash, naman, and then also here. Ayan. Slanting dapat yan Hindi ko lang maslant kasi mouse lang ang gamit ko Hindi ko ma-open yung aking iPad. Mas madali sana kapag naka-pen. But anyway, when you want to insert space sa isang sentence na nawala na ng spaces between words, that's how you do it. You insert the slashing lines between letters kung saan gusto mong ihiwalay ang mga nagkadikit-dikit. Alright? So there you go. When you want to insert a period at the end of the sentence, okay, at the end of the sentence siya, hindi kayo pwede magsusulat lang ng tuldok na ganyan kasi hindi siya makikita. Okay, so how you do it ay tuldok at bilugan nyo para mapansin yung bilog na yon. So that's for a period, for a missing punctuation at the end of the sentence. Kailangan tuldukan ng isang pangungusap, tuldok, period. Okay. Ayan, Tagalog nga pala itong kasi yung ating copy reader na si Mark Lester, yung nag-champion ng NSPC natin, ay siya, copy reading siya sa Filipino. Kaya the materials provided to us were also in Filipino. Okay? So, pero yung kalahati nito sa headline writing, English naman, kasi English ang isusulat natin na headline para mas familiar kayo. Okay? Pero meron din ako materials for Filipino. Pero yung marks, Filipino kasi talaga ginamit namin sa marks. Wala namang kaso kung Filipino yung sentences or what. Ang mahalaga naman, yung symbols ang ginagamit natin or yung marks ay tama. Okay? So, marks for special types. Ano naman yung mga special types? We're talking about here special types ng pagkaka-type or pagkaka-print or pagkaka-design ng words or letters. Okay? Ayan. So, to capitalize, sabihin, meron tayo, anong type ng letters natin? Capital letters. So, different types, how do we edit different types or special types? When there are times na kailangan nating mag-capitalize. Sabihin, kailangan nating palakihin ang isang letra. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, nawawala yung mga pagkakasulat. As I was going to St. Ives, I met a man with 7 wives. How many are going to St. Ives? So, ayan, since nawawala siya, understood naman, dito siya dapat sa Saint. So, when you use 3 lines, it indicates na sinasabi mo yung letter na yon ay dapat i-capitalize. Okay, how about here? How many are going to St. Ives? Biglang naging small letter naman yung letter I. So, you capitalize, ayan, sumabra ng konti, yung letter I. Which will give you this corrected form. As I was going to St. Ives, nakita natin, capital na yung letter S at capital na rin yung letter I natin here. So, to capitalize a letter that is in small letter or lowercase, ang gagamitin mo symbol ay 3 guhit. Alright? Next. To change to lowercase. Okay, halimbawa naman, itong general, syempre, it has to be letter E lang. Okay? Yung iba, ang ginagawa nila ay dinidelete nila, tapos nag-i-insert pa sila ng E na ganyan, masyadong maraming nakasulat, di ba? The proper way to do it is to just command using slashing of the letter. Hindi slashing of the space. Ito, mali nga ito, sabi ko nga sa inyo. Nahihiwala yung mga character. So, ang tama dyan dapat ay, teka lang, magbura muna tayo. Ayan. And, how do I write? Pen. Ayan. Ang tama dyan ay you slice through the letter. Ayan. Hindi dito ha, na mali siya ng placement eh. Magiging command dyan ay magiging general kapag nasa pagitan ng E at N. But when you slice through the letter E na capitalize, ay magiging small letter E siya like this. Alright? So that's how you change to lower case or what we call small letter type. Okay? Next, to change to small letters. To small capital letters. Ano pa yung small capital letters? Capital letters siya pero mas maliit. Smaller. Okay. Governor Dominguez told the WHO, World Health Organization, representatives that the provincial government is placing a premium on childcare. Ayan, hindi dito sa data, hindi dyan yan, yung mark na yan. Dapat dito siya. And 1, 2. It means that it is still capital, pero papaliitin yung pagkakasulat, mas mababa or mas pandak. Shorter. Okay, short capital letters. So this is how it will turn out. Okay, capital letters pa rin siya pero mas mababa or mas maliit. That's how you do it. So to change small to when you want to change to small capital letters, the way to do it is use 2 lines under the words you wish to convert to small capital letters. All right? And then next tayo, how do we italicize? Something na yung regular style, tapos gagawin mo siyang italicize. Let's say, for example, it's a title, and you wish to italicize it, so you won't use the quotation mark anymore. Then you just have to underline what you wish to italicize. Okay, so Frank Salton wrote the short story Lady or the Tiger. So, ang pwede mong gawin ay ganito. Ayan, quotation marks. Kung may quotation marks, no need to italicize. Okay? Pero kung walang quotation marks, kailangan mo siyang i-italicize. So, how you do it is you underline Lady or the Tiger. It will turn out like this. Frank Stockton wrote the story, ayan, Lady or the Tiger. Yung Lady or the Tiger natin, italicize na siya since we gave a command na single line on the words. Okay? Pero ito, this is tama, this is correct, as you already use quotation marks signifying that it is a title. Okay? Pero you don't double highlight a title by quoting it, okay, or by using quotation marks and at the same time, using italicized letters. So you just choose whether quotation marks and closing quotation marks or using italicized letters. So if you want to use italicized letters, and then ganito ang gawin mo. Okay. O kaya naman, you insert using a caret, ayan, na paganyan. So, bahala ka kung anong gusto mong gamitin. Pero itong command natin ay to italicize yan. Okay? So, when you want to italicize, you use single line under words or under the sentence or word na gusto mong i-italicize. Alright? So, let's move on. To change from italics to Roman type. Let's say, for example, yung pagkakatype ni newswriter, okay, ay naka-italics naman or italicized naman. Pero kailangan mo siyang gawing Roman. Ibig sabihin ng Roman ito. Roman style lang siya, yung regular style ng font or yung unstyled na letters. So you circle yung word na naka-italicize and then you write the word Rome. Yeah, Roman. Yeah, ito yon. Okay? Para mag-appear na si Rizal ay hindi na siya italicized. Alright? So you circle the word and then you write the word Rome, signifying that you want to change the italics into Roman. Next one. To change text to boldface. Regular or Roman tayong ginamit natin. And then, we wish to highlight siya. Okay, so how you do it ay You use scribbling line, ayan, sa Da Vinci Code, and this is what it will result to. Ano yun? Ready na ulit siya? Okay. Da Vinci Code. There you go. Alright? So, very direct to the point naman yung ating copy reading. So, that's about it, no? Next one. When we want to change from bold face to light face, ayan. Nan yung terms natin, ha? Ayan. Bold face, ibig sabihin naka-bold to light face na hindi naka-bold. Ang bold natin, you circle it again and then you write the initial LF. Ibig sabihin yan ay light face. Ang kapal ng mukha niya. Okay, nakita niyo yung mga example sentence. Very ironic din dun sa mga example. Light face, tapos yung sentence, ang kapal ng mukha niya. Okay. So that's how you change yung naka-bold, papalitan mo ng regular lang. Okay? So, marks for changes. Kapag meron kang gustong baguhin, these are things that you use. Okay. To spell out. Let's say, for example, captain ang nakalagay, pero kailangang ibuin yung captain. You just circle it. The thing with circling is, you use the opposite. Okay? When you circle something, it's the opposite that will come out. Okay? So, when you circle an abbreviated one, magre-result siya sa spelled out. Okay? And when you circle a spelled out word like binibining or binibini, pag sinircle mo siya, magre-result siya sa abbreviated na binibini. B. Alright? So when you circle a number in figure, it will result to a number in word. Okay? And likewise, if you circle a number in word, it will result to a number in figure. Alright? So, baliktad lang din siya. If you circle captain, ayan, magiging CAPT siya, and so on. So, again, when you circle something, it will result to the opposite. Kaya kanina, dahil maraming style ng letters, pag nag-circle ka at gusto mong baguhin yung style niya, gagawin mo Roman, susulat mo pa yung Rome, di ba? Pag gagawin mo light face, susulat mo pa yung LF and circle mo siya. Okay, there you go. Next, exceptions natin. Ano yung mga dapat natin hindi isinasama? As exemptions, I mean in ano nga yun? Ayan, sa changes, okay? Dates and address. Kapag sa dates and address, lagi siyang figures. Ibig sabihin, hindi tayo gumagamit ng words sa date. Yung bawa, 9th of November. Hindi mo pwedeng gamitin NINETH. So, ang mga date natin, or November 6, hindi pwedeng November, tas SIS. Siyempre, pati addresses, pati yung mga numbers ng addresses, lagi silang figures. Ang proper nouns natin, pwede naman natin i-write in words or in figures. Okay? Pag proper nouns sila. For example, yung Sixers na team, football team. It can be Sixers or Sixers na SIXERS. So, beginning of sentence, lagi siyang words. Kapag sa numbers to, alright? Beginning of sentences natin, nagsimula yung sentence sa number, ay ginagamitan natin siya ng words. Kapag nasa sentence siya, hindi sa headline, di ba? Iba kasi ang rule sa headline when it comes to numbers. Pero kapag sa sentence, sa news, at nagsisimula doon sa number yung sentence, laging words ang ginagamit natin. Okay, words. Kapag naman events, ang ginagamit natin ay 1st to 9th. Yan, allowed yung mga yan. Alright, so when no correction or editing is needed, we just box it out. Ito, hindi siya dyan dapat. Dito siya. Yan. Lola. Walang correction daw dyan. Okay? Sabihin, okay lang yan. Yan. So, walang correction sa Silenay, Olinay, Oliskam. Yan. So, bakit nalagay pa yung no correction? Wala lang. Baka kasi sabihin nung nag-edit, nakalimutan mo ba to? Baka hindi mo lang siya namarkahan. So, para masabi mo na nakita mong italicize siya, pero sabi mo, tama lang yan, okay lang siya na italics, at hindi mo walang correction dito, i-box mo lang siya. Yun. Ganun ang ibig sabihin nun. Baka kasi isipin, nakalimutan mo lang mali. Baka akala nila mali, tapos nakalimutan mo lang i-edit. Okay? When you want to undo copy reading error, let's say for example, yung copy reader mo nagkamali, tapos ikaw ang editor-in-chief, na-review mo lang, nagpo-proofread kayo, or nagkakaalisan bago mag-printing. Halimbawa ito, naka-circle kay copy read ang press, ibig sabihin gagawin daw niyang buo, President Benigno Simeon C. Aquino. You have to write the word step, ibig sabihin, i-reverse, okay? I-reverse mo, hindi kailangan bilugan ito. Kasi hirap naman buburahin mo siya ng ganyan, ang pangit niyan. Hindi kayo naggaganyan sa copy reading. Kung meron kayo, i-undo. Lalagay nyo lang ng word na step, ibig sabihin, delete the error. Or, halimbawa, kayo naman, copy reader kayo. Ballpen ang ginamit nyo, nabilugan nyo. And then you realize na, ay, mali pala, dapat tama lang pala yung press dot. Okay, tama lang pala abbreviated na president. O, huwag nyo nang burahin yung yung pagkakasulat nyo na mag-scribble lines kayo, alright? Or i-X yung ganyan. Sulat nyo lang yung word na step, ibig sabihin, binabawi nyo yung pagkakacircle. Okay? Alright. Now, to indent, kapag mag-i-indent kayo, you use this line, sabihin yan, ipapasok nyo itong first line na to. So, it will result to this. Ayan. So, may indention na tayo. If paragraph ay nakalimutang i-indent, gano'n. Pag mag-start naman tayo ng new paragraph, ito, namali na naman yung position niya. Namali na naman yung position ng sulat. Baka pagkaka-ano kasi ito, pagkaka-export at pagkaka-edit ng PDF. Alright? Kapag kasi gumagamit tayo ng, bawa ito, the misspelling of President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo's name as Arroyo in 100 bills may have been an honest mistake, but the joke was on her, opposition lawmakers said yesterday. Okay, tapos kapag sinusugan natin siya or sinuportahan natin siya ng direct quote, normally, kahit ito ay tumutukoy din dito sa misspelling of President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo's name, hindi natin dinudugtong yung direct quotation, no? Especially sa news writing, second paragraph na siya. So, when you want to start a new paragraph here, ayan. So, pwede mo siyang gamitan din ng ganito. Okay? Sabihin, ibababa mo itong paragraph na to ng quotation. Alright. Or, you can use, instead of yung indent sign, yung typical natin na paragraph symbol. Okay? As a new paragraph. Ayan. At hindi ito dito, ha? Namali lang siya ng pwesto. So, follow the blue instruction. There you go. Para mailipat natin sa paragraph na to sa baba yung ating direct quotation from Representative Rolex Suplico. Alright. To undo new paragraph, parang alimbawa ganito, nalagay mo siya ng P. Ay, hindi pala, naka-next paragraph siya. Pero sabi mo ay, dapat hindi siya next paragraph, dapat kadugtong lang din siya. Pwedeng gamitin no, P. Or nasulatan mo na siya ng P, next paragraph, pero no, di pala dapat. To undo it, you write down no. Okay? Now, kasi sinulat yung P, hindi siya pwedeng circle. Okay? So, no ang gagawin siya, no paragraph. Okay? No new paragraph. Alright. So, it's either kung nakalagyan mo siya ng P or nakaganyan na talaga, next paragraph na talaga siya, para sabihin mo na wag kang mag-next paragraph, okay? Pwede mong isulat yung no paragraph sign. Right? Para i-instruct na, wag kang mag-next paragraph. Okay, to center the text. Let's say, for example, this is a title, pero naka-flash left siya. You use this symbol. Ayan. Okay. And it will appear like this. Ayan. Nasa gitna na siya. Mysterious inclination. Alright, next. To transpose letters or words. Ayan. So, itong E at I natin nagkabaliktad. Naging believe. Right? Parang naging receive. So, ang gagamitin natin symbol ay like this. Ay, pangit ang sulat. Ay! Ayan. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pagpapalitin mo ng ng pwesto yung I tsaka E. Paano yan? Hindi kasi masyadong malinaw dito. Bawa ito yung I, ito yung E, ito yung I. So, sakupin mo yung E at saka sakupin mo yung I. Ganun siya. Okay? Medyo hindi lang malinaw dito kasi dahil sa pagkaka-place ng marking. Pero ganyan siya. Ibig sabihin, sakop yung E, sakop yung I, palit sila ng pwesto. Now, pagpapalitin mo naman yung words naman. So, ganun din. Sakupin mo yung landing, sakupin mo yung fish. Magpapalit lang sila ng pwesto. So, instead of landing fish, fish landing. Okay? Okay, there you go. Next, to run in text copy. Yung nagkahiwalay. Okay? Run in copy symbol to delete spaces. Ayan, delete this space dito. Ayan, okay? And then, between words, if one word is located in the next line naman, yung word na napunta sa next line, pwede mong gawin ito. Ibig sabihin, pagtugtungin mo siya, yan, nagkahiwalay sila. Okay? So, that's how you run in text. Kapag merong naputol, napindot siguro yung enter. Okay? Alright. Now, to move a line or to flash left. To move to left, to align to left, or to flash left. Kung mapapansin nyo, naka-flash right tayo or naka-align right tayo, no? Nandito siya naka-align. Pero gusto natin, same lang nito, naka-align dito, tapos dito rin naka-align. So, in short, justified siya. So, you use this mark, parang, ayan, para magawa natin na ganito. Naka-align din siya sa left or naka-move din sa left yung mga paragraphs. Both na siya actually. Okay, dito hindi mo na kailangan lagyan ng ganun kasi naka-align na naman na siya sa margin. Okay? So hindi mo na kailangan lagyan nun. So dito na lang. Kasi siya lang yung hindi naka-align dito sa margin. So as a result, yan ang mangyayari sa kanya. Naka-align na yung paragraph. Okay. To move or align or flash left again, also, ayan. Pwede rin siyang double line. Okay? Yes? I think so, sabi ni Lovely. Tama ba, Lovely?
Yes po, ma'am. 52 minutes na po tayo.
Okay, sige. Pasensya na, no? Eh, medyo magtatagalan tayo ng konti. Pero at least, hindi kayo mapapagod manood kasi nakikita nyo na rin dito and then meron na kayo matatago. Kasi I can send you naman the copy of the video na mahaba ko rin naman gagawin. Pero at least, isang panooran nyo na lang, no? Sabay-sabay na kayo. Kaya ito na lang ang pinili ko na i-discuss sa inyo and then record para hindi kayo tamarin manood. Okay? To move, to align, or flash right, ayan, ganyan naman yung ginagamit natin. Nabanggit na natin to kanina, no? So, yung gantong symbol, align right, yung kaninang symbol, na ganito, to align to the left. Okay? Or, to move or to align right, or to flash right, similar naman din, pareho lang. Okay? So, either you use ganito, or ganyan, or sa right naman, ganito, or ganyan, both are accepted. Okay? Next, to move up. Halimbawa ito, nasobrahan naman sa haba ng paragraph, ay ng pagkaka-enter, no? Nag-doble enter. Gusto mong itaas ng kaunti. So, you use this mark to move up. Okay? Nakita nyo, mas maigsi na yung space between the paragraphs. Okay? Paano kung gusto mong i-indent? O, nilagyan mo pa ng ganyan, no? Indent. Okay, indent. Right? To move down, okay, yung mabuhay and thank you, you want to move it down. So, gamit ka ng ganito, and it will mean na magkakaroon ka ng space dito. Okay, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na letter P, okay, para next paragraph, kasi next paragraph naman talaga siya. It's just that, masyado siyang dikit doon sa previous paragraph. So, to move it down, you can use this symbol and it will result to this. Okay? Next, end marks tayo. How do we use end marks? Alright. So, this, kapag to be continued, pwede kang gumamit ng ganito or you use the word more. Mas pansinin to, yung more, and then sinicircle yan. Pag sa English, more. Ibig sabihin may kasunod pa. Baka kasi dalawang pages siya, okay? So, you use the word more, and then what we actually do is sinusulat namin ng may circle. Kasi baka akala sinisingit mo yung word na more eh. Meron kasi mga iba din naiintindihan niya. Pero, ibig sabihin ng more with the circle ay meron pang kasunod sa next page. Or sa kapag naman Filipino, pa ang ginagamit, and then you circle. Pwede rin namang slash na ganyan. Kaso baka hindi mapansin. Baka kala naguhitan mo lang, ano? So, mas gamitin at mas precise kung gagamit ka ng more o at ng pa. Okay? Pag naman tapos na, you use 30. Yan. Ako, pinapa-circle ko din sa aking mga estudyante. Mas pansinin kasi pag naka-circle, na instruction siya at hindi mo sinusulat yung 30. Magulat ka na lang pagdating dun sa edit, sa printed, may nakasulat na 30, no, akala pinapalagyan mo ng 30. Pero when you circle it out, ibig sabihin, yun ay N or number sign. Ayan. Okay, there you go. Headline writing tayo. Ayan, sabi sa inyo, ano to ng DepEd. So, there you go. Do you want to have a break or tuloy-tuloy lang tayo? Tuloy-tuloy na natin?
Pwede po ba dito ko po i-cut muna tapos start?
Sige. Alright, cut muna natin para hindi rin malaki yung video.
Okay.
Alright, sige. Kahit 2 minutes, 2-minute break.